Guys, you probably think the worst thing your parents ever did was make you clean your room, take your phone at night, or cook those weird dinners that smelled like a science experiment. But trust me, that is nothing. Because some parents out there, they aren't strict. They're straight up terrifying. And today, I found some of the worst parents ever caught on camera. Like, parents who did things so unbelievable, I had to rewatch the clips just to make sure they were real. So if you think your parents are bad, oh boy, just wait until you see these ones. And guys, remember to like and subscribe so your parents doesn't turn evil. All right, guys, let's get into the worst parents ever. The next clip is honestly one of the most disturbing cases of bad parenting I've ever seen, guys. Like, what would you do if your own parents tried to hide you away from the entire world? Because these parents didn't just punish their kids. They locked them inside their home for years. No school, no freedom, no sunlight. 13 children, all trapped in their own house, while the neighbors thought everything was perfectly normal. And the craziest part? This whole nightmare only ended because one teenager finally escaped and called for help. This is terrifying. Here's the clip.
These two parents in California chained their 13 children inside their own home for years, starving them in secret until a 17-year-old escaped. Their names were Tommy Harrington, 57 years old, and Gwen Harrington, 49. To neighbors, they looked like loving parents, but inside their Paris home was a nightmare. 13 siblings ages 5 to 29 were locked away. Many were shackled to their beds. They were denied food, denied sunlight, forced to live in filth. Some were so starved, police thought grown adults were children. In January 2018, everything changed. A 17-year-old son climbed out of a window, found a discarded phone, snapped photos as proof, and called 911. His voice shook as he told police, "My parents are abusing us." When officers entered the house, they froze. Children chained to beds, the stench of human waste, starving faces staring back. The siblings had been hidden for years. They had never been to school, never seen a doctor, never known freedom. Tommy and Gwen Harrington were arrested immediately. In court, their children described lives of captivity and torment. In 2019, both parents were sentenced to life in prison. The case shocked the globe. The world called it a house of horrors, and one haunting question remained.
Guys, I honestly don't even know what to say after watching that. This wasn't just bad parenting. This was a full-on real-life nightmare. Imagine growing up thinking the world is only 4 walls and never knowing anything else. It's so disturbing to think the neighbors had no idea while all of this was happening right next door. I can't even imagine what those kids went through, or how terrified that teenager must have been when he finally escaped. But thank God he did, because without him, nobody would have ever known. This whole thing just gives me chills, honestly. Imagine trusting your own mother more than anyone else in the world, and then finding out she's the one you should have feared the most. This woman wasn't just controlling, she took motherhood to a whole new twisted level. She didn't want to be a grandma. She wanted to replace her own daughter-in-law, no matter what it took. And the craziest part? Her entire secret almost stayed hidden, until a 5-year-old exposed everything with one drawing. Watch this clip.
This is the most evil mother in history. Her name was Julieta. She raised her son Connor all by herself, and for years they were very close. But as Connor grew older, he started to drift away, and that left Julieta feeling abandoned. When Connor turned 25, he got married. A year later, his child Paul was born. First time Julieta held the baby in her arms, a twisted thought took root in her mind. She wanted to be the boy's mother, not his grandmother, so she volunteered to take care of the child while secretly planning to get rid of her daughter-in-law Linda. Pretending to care for her, Julieta fed her so-called supplements every day until one day Linda suddenly died. After that, Julieta began to brainwash Connor, repeating again and again, "The child is so little. It's too sad for him to grow up without a mother. Let me be his mom." In his grief and confusion, Connor eventually gave in. Julieta thought her secret would never be discovered. But when Paul turned 5, the teacher gave the children an assignment. Each of them had to draw a picture of their mom, while every other child drew a young mother. Luca drew an old woman with a wrinkled face. The teacher asked, "Who is this?" And Paul answered with innocent certainty, "She is my mom, and she is also my grandma."
Guys, that was honestly one of the most disturbing stories I've heard in a long time. The fact that a mother could twist love into something so dark And do all of this just to replace someone else? That is actually terrifying. And the wildest part is that everything fell apart because of one innocent drawing. A 5-year-old literally exposed the truth without even knowing it. Imagine carrying a secret like that for years and having it unravel in 10 seconds with crayons. This whole thing gives me chills. Some people should never be allowed near children, ever. Guys, this next one is actually kind of funny. Not scary, just parents going way too far with their punishments. We're talking embarrassing t-shirts, public signs, duct tape. Like these parents really woke up and chose humiliation as discipline. It's chaotic, but in the funniest way. Here's the clip.
Kids who suffer terrible punishments from parents. This girl had to wear this shirt that says, "Stay clear, boys, this is my dad," on her first day of school. This girl lied to her dad, and her dad made her stand in public holding a sign saying, "I lied to my dad." This kid's parents duct taped her to the wall. These brothers were fighting, and the parents made them wear "This is our get along" t-shirt. These parents wrote "dork" and an arrow pointing to the son's room. This parent made his daughter hold up a sign saying, "I'm Jasmine, I sneak boys in at 3 a.m. and disrespect my parents and grandparents."
If my dad ever made me wear a shirt like that, I would be so embarrassed. Like, I'd fake being sick for the rest of the school year. Some of these punishments weren't even punishments. They were straight up public humiliation with extra steps. Imagine your whole class seeing you duct taped to a wall or holding a sign that exposes your entire life story. I'd simply disappear. These parents are wild, but honestly, kinda iconic. Alright guys, that was all from me this time. Which of these stories did you find the most disturbing? Let me know down in the comments. And remember, like and subscribe if you want to make sure your parents never turn evil or give you any embarrassing punishments. Stay safe, guys.